Hey guys, do you only have 30 minutes to work out? Then I'm going to lay out for you the key things that you need to follow in order to make progress in just 30 minutes. It's unlikely what you think it's going to be. I was featured in this article here, which has got a lot of great information, but I want to give you a very comprehensive layout of what I would do. If you only have 30 minutes, the smartest way to structure your workout is to focus on the compound movements. That's number one, just like any other workout for the most part. Compound movements. Number two, supersets. We've all heard of them. Saves you time, increases the training density. And you're going to start with the most demanding compound lifts first, right? Your multi joint movements, it could be a squat, your presses, upper body pushes and pulls, that kind of stuff. And then it really comes down to how you want to pair those to hit all your fundamental movement patterns, right? So you got to look at them. You got your lower body, it's a squat, a hip hinge, and a lunge. You've got your upper body, which is horizontal and vertical push and pulls. You got some core work, right? So a sample structure, if you were doing supersets, might include something like this, right? So we're looking at a push and pull superset, right? Bench press in a row. You might do a squat and a push, right? Goblet squats with a shoulder press. You may do a hinge and a pull superset, right? This is an RDL with a pull up. Notes to this, right? Like if you're a beginner, you can get away with some of this. As you start to progress and use heavier weight, you are not going to be able to get away with this because try doing a Romanian deadlift with even 225 and then try and do some pull-ups, you're going to be very fatigued. And I would say then at that point, you might be putting yourself at risk for some injury if you're too fatigued to do your remaining deadlift, which requires a lot of core control. So you have to kind of program things properly. Like every, person's different. Every part of the stage is different. But if you're doing lighter weight stuff, then you can get away with that. With that being said, you have many options for supersetting, but I'm going to show you a workout at the end where you don't have to superset and it's going to be just as effective, if not more effective, given some key things. So let me kind of give you a rundown of a key mindset shift that you have to take to get short workouts to be productive and get the most out of your time, right? That mindset shift is progress matters more than duration. Okay. It's not about how long you spend on the workout. It's about whether or not you're improving. If you're consistently adding weight, doing more reps, and increasing the quality of your movements, then you're likely building muscle and strength alongside that. And that can happen in 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if you have someone doing a 30-minute workout, a 60-minute workout, an hour and a half workout. What's going to matter is that you are progressing. And whoever progresses the most is going to have the most noticeable gains, progress, the best physique, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, if you're structuring an at-home workout and you're trying to build something at home, right, and you only got 30 minutes, I'm going to give you the best pieces of equipment here. So this is just the number one recommendation, but it's the least likely because it's the most costly, right? So this is a squat or power rack with a barbell. Barbell movements, you can get mostly everything done, hit all your compounds. That would be the best bang for your buck if you have the money and the space. But if you don't have those, right? Dumbbells, top priority. Adjustable sets like power blocks work great. If they're scalable, they save the space and they technically save you money from having to get an entire rack. Okay. So let's talk about the next one. Once you pair your dumbbells with a adjustable bench, that's going to add even more stuff like for pressing and rows and lower body movements where you need to stabilize like a Bulgarian split squat. So you have the really good bases there. Next is going to be your resistance bands with handles. Not so great for your more advanced training, but if you're a beginner, it's good, good to get started with. It's good for warm-ups, good for travel, and budget friendly. The next thing I have on this list is if you can access a pull-up bar or a weighted vest, because that's going to add some really good vertical pulling options. Good for also loading squats, lunges, push-ups, planks, stuff like that. So those are going to be your top go-tos that you need to cross off your home equipment checklist first. And lastly, I want to kind of outline what I see is the biggest mistake that people are typically making when they're trying to cram in a workout. And that's people are doing random rush circuits of high reps with light weights. Like the session just turns into cardio with weights. And that just doesn't build meaningful long-term results in the muscle and strength department if you're looking for anything just slightly above average, right? At least not efficiently and effectively. So if you've been doing nothing, you can get away with doing cardio with weights and you'll see some results. But if you've been training at all and at a certain point, you cannot go around and just do cardio with weights. You're just lifting weights ineffectively. So you need to, if the goal is to build muscle and strength and change your physique, then you need to train like that, right? So that means you need to have enough resistance to create a stimulus, right? So mechanical tension load has to be there, all right, to build the muscle. The sets need to be taken close enough to failure, and you need a consistent structure to track and progress over time, because you don't want to fall in the trap of just burning calories. Instead, you have to prioritize a proper resistance training program, sticking with those movements for at least 6 to 8 weeks, and seeing how your strength and performance improves. And then you can go from there. But that's how you're going to create long-term strength and muscle gains that's going to help your health and physique over time. So the bottom line here is don't rush, don't randomize, and you need to focus on getting stronger. So let's go over a sample workout here that doesn't even include any supersets. And if you stick to this, you will see noticeable gains. So we have a sample 30-minute workout here. This is a full body workout, and I'll note that each movement is 1 to 2 working sets close to or at failure, anywhere from 8 to 10 RP. The problem is with RP, sometimes a lot of people, trainees, don't recognize how close they are to failure. So saying RP 9 for a lot of people, it puts them closer than if you say like, I'll do 7 or 8. So resting 1 to 2 minutes between sets. You can get all this done resting 1 to 2 minutes per set with all of these in 30 minutes. And you're going to track your weights and reps weekly, right? So first you want to work on a main push pattern. That can be a flat or an incline dumbbell chest press or your push-ups. 2 sets, take it 2 or 1 shy of failure. Next, you're going to work on a hinge, preferably like a Romanian deadlift. 2 sets of that, RP 8-9 will be good for you. Main pull up or bent over row, right? 2 sets of those to failure, and you can alternate these. So when you do the other day, right? Maybe you do this on Monday, on Wednesday, do the opposite. For number 4, you're going to focus on a unilateral lower body movement like a lunge. So we're looking at walking lunges or a split squat. 2 sets, take them close enough to failure. You're going to feel it. It's going to hurt, but you're only doing 2 sets and you're maximizing your time. Okay. Next, we're looking at a core superset. You could do something like a lying leg raise and some weighted Mason twist, something like that. Will get you, cover most of your base there. And then if you have the time, an accessory superset is dumbbell curls and skull crushers, 1 to 2 sets to failure. Then you're going to do dumbbell lateral raises and calf raises, 1 to 2 sets to failure. This is icing on the cake. If you follow these main 4 movements right here, these patterns, for 6 to 8 weeks, track the lifts, push yourself close enough to failure, doing so safely, right? Then you will see more progress from this than throwing around 10-pound dumbbells. All right. So, like I said, overall, you need to focus on heavier, higher intensity lifts here, full effort and control. And the key here is that we are focusing on bringing these close enough to failure to stimulate the muscle growth. Okay. If you have questions, you can DM me on Instagram at MinorFit. You can submit an inquiry on my website, minorfitness.com, or you can leave a comment. Those are always encouraged. So there'll be plenty more of these to come. So subscribe. Thanks.